And on us. The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Here we go. It's Thursday, January 25th. Man,
Hello.
oh man. Can you believe it?
Thursday.
This
This is my favorite day of the week, and I don't have favorites except for Thursday.
Why?
Because it's Thursday.
Do you have favorite children?
No, absolutely not. All of my children are my favorite. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't believe a word you're saying.
It's true.
We have a dense fog advisory in effect until 11 a.m. today, and then some more fog and the rain coming as well. 50-50 chance for some more rain this afternoon and a high of 40. Tonight, more rain and low down to 35. So that means more snow is going to melt and probably a little more fog going to be happening later this afternoon.
I'm okay with more of the snow melting because even though the most of my alley is clear, at the ends, there's just a mess. I gotta barge through there every time, and I feel like I'm an icebreaker,
right?
In the Coast Guard.
Yeah, and what I don't like about it as it's melting is that it gets so heavy when you're trying to shovel and clear out a lot of that stuff that's been packing in. What are you all right there?
Yeah.
You all right? Oh. I don't know what's going on there. Hearing some EAS tests or something. Anyways, lots to get to this morning as you start your day. Are you all right there?
Yeah. Sorry, I was hearing emergency beeps out there. But,
I thought that we were getting cut off because of the possible EAS, but I think it was emergency alert tests. I think that.
Oh, okay.
They're
doing it at a weird
time. Some people were
day.
getting their tests in or something.
I will tell you that we do have a traffic note to share. In Benton Harbor, if you're in that area and you're traveling on West Main Street at Riverview Drive, there's the roundabout there. You're right outside of Whirlpool Corporation's North America headquarters. Getting word of a serious accident there. You're going to see law enforcement, a lot of flashing lights, and folks doing an investigation there. So be aware that you may have to find an alternate route to get around there, and there could be a traffic backup. We're working to confirm some details on it right now, and we'll bring you more information, but don't be surprised when you see that.
All right. Let's find out some other things that are going on in the news this morning.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. In local news that we're covering for you today, 7 people arrested after the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department did a sweep of a motel where individuals on parole were staying. The department says narcotics detectives did a compliance check at the K-Pep Red Arrow Motel in Pawpaw Township on Tuesday. It's a transitional motel. They ordered everyone in the rooms outside for a check. The following searches found 3 individuals in possession of methamphetamine, 2 with firearm ammunition, and 1 with psychedelic mushrooms. Police say they found some additional violations of parole terms, and 7 people were arrested. They were all taken to the Van Buren County Jail, while an additional suspect who was there visiting was also taken into custody on an outstanding warrant. Sheriff's Department notes that their K-9 unit jet assisted in the search of the motel. Southwestern Michigan College has started the spring semester with an increased enrollment. SMC President Joe Odenwald tells us enrollment is up 11.5% with an increase of 177 students over the spring of last year. He says the college seems to have recovered from the pandemic.
Right now, we're experiencing some of our best retention rates in history. We're getting great applications from students. They want to be here. Our graduation rate is the best it's ever been, and it's fueling this unprecedented 5th straight semester of enrollment growth year to year.
Odenwald says several programs are going strong, from nursing to CTE.
I grew up, a farm kid. Sometimes one thing hits, one crop's good and another one isn't. This year, it just happens to be a year where everything is just really, really good. All of our programs are doing really well.
Odenwald says especially popular this year are the welding, auto, and construction programs. Also, dual enrollment is up along with online classes. Odenwald notes that on-campus student housing is more than 90% full, part of the reason why the college recently announced more than $2 million in new housing construction, which is set to be complete in 2025. And the effort to raise around $400,000 for a new playground at Silver Beach County Park continues, now with new support from a fellow Below the Bluff attraction. The Berrien County Parks Department, Jason Field, tells us Silver Beach Pizza will be raising funds for the playground project with a special promotion this coming Monday. Anyone who stops by there can help contribute to the park's project.
It's a fundraising event where 20% of all sales that night from 4 to 9 p.m. are going to be donated to our playground project at Silver Beach.
Field says anyone can flash a flyer for the promotion to make part of their purchase go to the playground project. He says it makes sense for a pizza place right there to team up with the park.
Our customers are their customers. It's a community thing. I think they've been doing this Give Back Night fundraiser for a while now. It made sense for us to reach out to them to see if they wanted to help support our playground projects, and they've been nothing but wonderful to work with.
Berrien County last year was awarded an $850,000 state grant for new playground equipment at Silver Beach. The Parks Department is now raising an additional $400,000 to cover the entire cost, which is $1.25 million. Field says they're about 72% of the way there. If you want to help, you can get a pizza.
Nice.
And some of your money will go to the park.
All right.
But it's got to be Monday. You got to have a flyer. You got to print out the flyer to make it work.
Or they have a digital one too.
You can show it on your phone, but all that stuff, you can get it on our website, WSJM.com. Just look for the story.
Nice.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Always learning with our friends from Barry and Risa coming up here in just a few minutes. And by the way, WSJM News is brought to you by our friends at Cornerstone Alliance. See GoMichigan.com, Cornerstone Alliance. Sports as well. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the nation and the world with ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Alaska Airlines says it will be returning some of its Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets to the air beginning tomorrow. The FAA releasing final instructions to Alaska and other airlines to begin conducting a 12-hour inspection process, focusing on the bolts that hold the door plugs in place. President Biden receiving an endorsement from the United Auto Workers this week.
He joined us in solidarity on the picket line for the first time in our nation's history. A sitting president has ever done that.
That's UAW President Sean Fain, who called Donald Trump a scab. Nikki Haley is back in her home state of South Carolina, vowing to keep on fighting Trump for the GOP nomination. The former president.
Good morning, everyone. That's on our Facebook and YouTube and X. That's on the live stream.
Hello.
Streaming live.
Hello.
Diane, good morning.
Hey, Diane.
Bill, good morning.
Bill.
Fog advisory happening today, so just be careful. Some very, very thick fog. There were some areas that I drove by that it didn't even look like there was even a field. It was just a wall. It was like the snow, and then it was just like the snow just kind of went up, and it was the fog.
Huh.
So it was pretty thick.
As long as I don't have to drive through it, I love it.
Yeah. I actually used my fog lights today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had fog lights.
I have fog lights.
That's very fancy.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, how'd they work?
I think they worked well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I can see. You know what? I might be
yellow?
Just to be safe. I don't know if I can't tell.
Okay.
I've never been in front of the car when I pull, because like I turn it on and I've got my regular lights, and then I just pull out this little thing, and then that's the. I think they just point down. They're more down to the ground.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Because if you like, I mean, people put their brights on in fog. It's like you're just blinding yourself. You can't do that.
Same thing when you have the big blizzard, like the big lake effect snow.
Yeah.
And that rolls in, and then people turn their brights on. It's like you're going through Star Wars, or you're going through warp speed.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't see a thing. And other people can't see anything either. So
Yeah.
I saw a ton of people yesterday, and this is another public service announcement for anybody driving. If your wipers are on,
Yeah.
so should be your headlights.
Oh, okay.
That's a rule. Like,
Okay.
then if it's raining and you're using the wipers, you got to turn your headlights on.
I would agree with that. The only reason I hesitate is because I always have my lights on.
Right.
Whenever I'm in the car, I turn the headlights on.
And for some people, and for a lot of cars, they're auto.
Yeah.
They're automatic lights. They
Yep.
turn on no matter what.
Yeah.
Which is good. I actually like that
Yeah.
safety. I don't like it when I'm sneaking down the driveway.
No.
When I was a kid, Luckily, that car that when I was a kid did not have the automatic lights.
Yeah.
My mom's bedroom was right by the driveway.
Mm.
So when you had to try and sneak out
Mhm.
and also sneak out with your car, you just
I never did that.
You never did that?
No.
No.
No, you know why? Because I didn't have a car.
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't have a car at all.
No. My brother got a car for his 16th birthday.
Okay.
I'm not still bitter about this, by the way. My brother got a car for his 16th birthday and promptly wrecked it that summer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And then and there may or may not have been intoxicants involved. Yeah. So dumb brother ruined it for me.
That's why, ruined it for you.
Ruined it for me. So for my 16th birthday, I got a clock radio.
Oh, jeez. I bet you got a box and they handed you the box.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, sweet. Why would you put keys in such a big box? No, clock radio.
Yeah, clock radio.
That's so disappointing. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Do you want to talk about it?
I'm not bitter about it.
But isn't that true?
I don't hold it in as a piece of like.
Imagine having 4 older brothers and they really ruin it for you.
Yeah, but you had an auto shop. There must have always been a car to drive.
Oh yeah, there was always a car. there was always a car in the driveway. We shared a lot of cars though.
Yeah.
There was many cars where it was like, yep, I'm taking the car today. Oh, I'm taking the car. My brothers and I would most of the time, once one of them was able to drive, most of the time we would all just drive to school that way.
Yeah.
But sometimes my oldest brother, he'd take the other brothers and then he'd be like, yeah, you guys catch the bus. Because maybe they had to go early for like a practice or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother that's a little bit older than me, we used to drive to school all the time and share the cars. But yeah, with an auto shop, it did help that we had some cars.
Yeah.
Sometimes we would get cars that people, if they didn't pay their bill, we would then essentially we'd take over that car.
You were the repo guy.
That was you didn't pay your bill. This is our car now. So that was nice. We had a few of those.
Oh my goodness. I feel like, because I have 3 boys and they 2 of them are over driving age now.
Yeah.
But when they were about to turn 16, because of the way society is right now and everything's online and the pandemic too didn't help. They weren't as anxious as I was to drive when you turn 16. When you turn 16, I really wanted to drive. I don't know.
My niece is like that too. She's like, she just now, she's at the age now where she just got, she was excited about it when we were hanging out, about the fact that she now had some of the restrictions taken off because now she's 17. So she's like, now I've got this.
Doesn't have to wait for
don't have to worry. Worry about these things anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was not really super. She was actually, she was the one that was excited about doing it. My nephew, though, her older brother, was just like, I'll drive whenever.
I don't need to drive.
My mom will take me to school. School's not too far. Somebody will take me.
I mean, I don't know what it is that they didn't want. I mean, because a car at 16, especially if you've got friends in school and all sports and stuff like that, it's independence.
Right.
I'm ready for my independence.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't.
That 14 and 9 months. When I was 14 and 9 months, I was like, all right, driver's ed.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Can I go out and start the car?
I actually had to wait because driver's ed was part of our school.
Yeah.
Which was nice. I didn't have to go like so many people now have to go and be part of a program and go and do their driver's ed that way. But it was actually part of our school classes.
Yeah.
So like for a semester, you would take driver's ed.
Our wrestling coach was the driver's ed teacher and we had to pay for it. It was an after school thing.
Yeah.
And I think I've told you this before. He kicked me out of the car.
Like while it was running? While I was driving down the road?
No, it wasn't rolling. It wasn't rolling down the road, but I may or may not have spun the tires.
Oh, so you were that kid.
I thought it was coach. Coach, watch this.
Oh, geez.
Get out of the car.
We had, and I don't think you ever told me that story. That's interesting. Our driver's ed teacher was also the wood shop teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And the guidance, I think he was wood shop teacher or he was at the time guidance counselor or something like that.
Oh, no.
Great guy.
Okay.
Mr. Flagel. Great guy. Still to this day, one of the nicest people I've ever met. But he would teach the class and sometimes be the one that would also be in the car with you. But then he had another guy that volunteered as the
Nice.
instructor.
Nice.
That was Mr. Rennick or something like that. Anyways, name doesn't matter.
Was there a second brake in the car?
Yes.
Okay.
There was just the brake. There was no second wheel.
I can't imagine if they didn't have that.
Yeah.
The brake.
The brake was very important. Not for me so much. I got used to it pretty quickly. Like we did you do the initial, okay, you're going to drive in the parking lot. We're going to see how you do with just driving around and doing the basic acceleration and braking and turning and all that before we even get to driving on the road.
Yeah.
And I took about 10 minutes of doing all that. And then he was like, all right, I feel safe with you driving out there. Let's see what we can do. And I wouldn't say a great driver when I was in driver's ed, but I was probably one of the better ones in my class. So I got to do the fun stuff. Like once it snowed, he was like, we're going to see how anti-lock brakes work.
Yeah. See, that's great.
And so he's
That's
like, floor it and then slam on the brakes. He said, you feel that? That's what that is.
That's a great way to teach that.
Now go in reverse and do donuts.
Yeah, because people don't really understand. I didn't understand for the longest time how the anti-brake system was supposed to work.
Right.
And you're supposed to hit it.
Yeah.
And it's doing its job.
Yep.
Although if you hit black ice, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But no, I think kids don't understand that where they're just like, oh, I'll just tap my brakes.
Kids
like, no.
Yeah.
Just hit the brakes and let it go.
As long as we're talking about vehicles,
Yes.
I've got a Ford recall. Did you see this one? The
No.
1.8 million Explorer vehicles.
Oh, wow.
Recalled due to a potential safety hazard with a part connected to the windshield.
Well, that's important.
You would think. The A-pillar trim retention clips. It's a metal piece that runs up the left and right side of the front windshield. May not be properly hooked due to improper assembly, allowing the trim to detach. The trim could then fly off your car.
Oh my!
And hit somebody behind you.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I would say pretty important.
It seems like an important thing. I mean, they describe it as a piece of trim, but I don't know. I don't know how big that is.
That's just the Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer.
From what year to what year?
Let's see.
Did they list that?
Yeah, they've got it here somewhere. Let me read through it.
Yeah, so that's one that go to your dealership wherever you got the vehicle, or go to your nearest Ford dealership and get that figured out.
For some reason, it is not showing me what I want to know.
Some of the dealerships are now offering, and I don't know how you feel about this, mobile service where you can get your car worked on, minor things. Obviously, if you've got to get major, like replace the axle or a bunch of you had dropped the transmission or something like that, they can't do that. But they can do oil changes and a few other things, recall repairs like that. If it's something they can do easily, they do it. They just pull up to your house, go to your driveway, boom.
Do they clean up the oil spill? I want to know that.
That's a good question, because somebody was one of my brothers or a friend of mine were saying, do they do oil changes with that? And I said, no, yeah, they said they do oil changes. Some mobile services won't do it. And I think what they do is, my guess is they put, not only do they put the drip tray to catch all of it, but I'm sure they also put something else, sort of like a mat that covers a larger area to catch all that stuff.
That makes sense. The Explorer recall affects Ford Explorers that were shipped out between 2011 and 2019. So it's quite a number.
Okay,
quite a number of them. But as I was looking for the exact dates on that, I was a little disturbed by additional information.
Bill says, we didn't have anti-lock brakes on cars back in my day, Bill. Yeah.
Is that what Bill sounds like?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never met Bill. Diane says she was talking about the recall.
Yeah.
What year did you say? She said
2011 to 2019.
2011, 2019.
Yeah.
So she was guessing. She said somewhere, I thought I saw somewhere the 18s and 19s, but it's a little bit larger range
to 2019. Although I did see this, and this one, let's see. Oh, trailers. This one is a totally different issue. It affects the 23 to 24 No Boundaries, R-Pod, and Ibex trailers.
Oh,
Yeah, Forest River is the company that makes them.
Forest River, right down the road, down in Elkhart.
And the fasteners for the independent suspension may loosen,
Oh,
allowing the independent suspension to detach.
yeah, that's pretty important
That-
too. That wouldn't be nice when you're rolling down the road.
So if you have one of those,
Okay.
contact Forest River. They are handling the recall directly.
Diane says she doesn't like the anti-lock brakes. I mean, I guess if you're depending on, I think depending on your age,
Right.
What you grew up, or not even your age, but what you grew up driving.
Right.
Whatever. If you had a car and you didn't have anti-lock brakes, yeah, and having anti-lock brakes is a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind them.
Yeah.
I
don't.
I think it's a great system but yeah, they are annoying when they do go off.
I'm kind of with Bill.
Yeah.
We didn't have them growing up, so you learned how to do that yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you jam on the brakes in the old school cars, you're losing, you're stopping.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. But if you feather the stop, then
Mm-hmm.
you have more control over it. If you turn that over to the car, you're not sure if it totally understands the conditions you're driving over.
Sure.
What I'm totally not into is the anti-lock braking system on the motorcycle. I don't know how that works, but they do have them available.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be strange.
That would be strange.
Hmm.
Because I just want to feel the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Not real up close.
Yeah, but you want to feel the road.
Have a leather jacket on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hoping that you don't.
Yeah.
There's some of those motorcycles, man, like the big Harley, like cruiser ones, the big cruiser bikes.
Yeah.
Like those, you can't even lay those things down. Like the balance on those things.
They only go so
is
far.
Great. Well, no, they not only lay them down, but no, the balance of them, they pretty much stay standing pretty well.
Okay.
Obviously you need the kickstand, but they're like, yeah, it's hard to tip this thing. So I don't know. I've always wanted one of those big Harley cruiser bikes.
Yeah.
Like Sportsters or whatever.
Anyone and everyone who gets a cruiser or a motorcycle, take the class. The class is important. The class can give you a lot of confidence and understanding of what the bike can and can't do. I still remember when I was growing up, seeing an accident where some guy had just got a big brand new Honda Goldwing.
Oh yeah,
and he was going down the what I called the death hill.
Ooh.
Because it was this big long decline or incline, whichever way you were going. And he didn't understand the whole balance thing. He tried to turn the wheel on the motorcycle instead of leaning, and he and the guardrail made quick friends.
Ooh.
It was not happy. He was fine, but it was not a pretty scene at first.
That was the motorcycle my dad had.
The Goldwing.
Was a Goldwing. Yeah,
the big ones.
I think my mom said they went to Niagara Falls.
Oh, that would have been pretty.
Yeah. So
nice trip. If Mrs. Reinhardt, if you're listening, you can do that again.
Yeah, there you go. Jump on a she could jump on a motorcycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't you have to take the class?
You have to get a permit, a motorcycle permit. So you do have to pass a test.
Or you have to test, yeah.
And if you pass the test in the motorcycle class, I think that certification is enough if it's a certified class to get you through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the driving, the riding safety of any vehicle, like for me, I have a chauffeur's license.
Oh,
and that's for
you have a limo somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But it's vehicles over 10,000 pounds. So I'm able to drive those. And then like I'm not to the CDL where I'm like getting to the big trucks and semis. But I could drive, a limo. I could drive a decent sized big truck.
Yeah. You know what I miss?
A bus.
You know what I miss are the emergency brakes. The levers that you pull in the middle.
Yeah.
Because those were so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make them like that anymore.
Jocelyn's car is a 2016, and she's got the.
Oh, she does have it?
She's got the pull. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Oh, I tried it.
Yeah,
it works
in the snow. It'll work great.
Yep. In a parking lot, it works fantastic.
In a controlled environment that's very safe, and you have your seatbelt on.
No, I did that because there are a lot of a large number of open parking lots in certain shopping areas in parts of the day, and I'm like, you know what? Nobody around. There's no poles or anything for me to hit.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this out. And yeah.
Yeah.
I showed her. I was like, And you need to know your car. It's
Yeah.
always important
Yeah.
to know how your vehicle reacts to certain things. So I said, "You ever pulled the e-brake on a car?"
Ooh.
She said, "No," and I said, "Watch this."
Oh man. Yeah, a buddy of mine had one of those old. Remember when Mustang was making I don't know if they called it a Capri or something like that.
Yep.
He had one of those.
The bad era of the Mustangs.
Well, it was the second worst era.
Okay.
The first worst era was when they made the rounded hatchbacks. Remember that?
Yeah.
The second worst era is probably now with the electric ones making an SUV out of them.
I know.
Even though they are fast.
And they look cool, but to me, a Mustang is not an SUV. An SUV is not a Mustang.
Right.
So
and then the third worst era was the Capris. But I mean, they were fine. They got you from here to there. But his had an emergency brake. And I'm pretty sure we wore that thing out because he would go at highway speed and then.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Always Learning wrapping up here in just a moment with our friends from Barry and Risa. So if you have a chance, you can check that out on the air because you're getting exclusive content. Car Talk this morning.
And the disclaimer is, kids, don't try this at home.
Yep. We were talking about it yesterday, actually, with my brothers and I about one of the cars. Because like you said, we had an auto shop, so we had a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Some were, cars that used to be other people's cars. So they were never new. We had, and this is still to this day, one of my all-time favorite cars. And it was the Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royal Broham Edition.
Oh.
So it was the luxury edition,
What is that?
Delta 88. It had all the great suspension on it.
Oh yeah.
Great engine. It had
what year was it? Do you
I
remember?
believe it was an 87.
Okay.
And then it had a bench seats. And honestly, I would love to drive another one of those. I would if I could find one in good condition. I would buy it.
Would you put fur on the dashboard?
No, I wouldn't put fur on the dashboard, but I would put like a dog, the nodding dog in the back.
What was your first car that was yours?
The first car that was mine that I purchased?
I don't care. The first one that was Johnny's, that's Johnny's car.
I know I had my grandmother's 1987 Mazda 626.
Ooh.
But I would consider that a hand-me-down.
Yeah, it's still your car.
My brother Jake and I would drive that, but then at one point he had a hand-me-down 94 Grand Am, Pontiac Grand Am.
The Grand Am.
And then we also had a 94 Grand Prix.
I'm pretty sure Sammy Hagar did that song. Grand Am.
Yeah.
No, it was Trans Am, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Oldsmobile Delta 88, that was kind of everybody's car. Kind of thing. But yeah, as far as the purchase of a car, I bought a 2000 and I don't know what year it was, early 2000s Saturn SC2.
Ooh.
It was weird. It had the little door, like the back seat. It was a 2-door, but you had the third door, but it was a little door. So people could.
A third door?
Yeah, there was a third door. So you had the the driver and the passenger door. And then on the driver's side, you had when you opened the door, there was a little handle.
Oh,
and then you would open it up, and your
I like that.
Yeah. So you didn't have to fold the seats down
And
if
you
people
didn't have
wanted
a
to get in the
full
back
door. Yeah.
seat, and you didn't have the full door.
Oh.
Piece of junk though.
Yeah.
Yeah, had all kinds of issues.
That's too bad.
All kinds of issues.
They have Boeing people working on that?
Probably. Yeah, it was a cool car. I made a bad decision because I had the money to buy a car. My brother and my mom actually did it while I was in DC for a trip.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you could either have the Saturn SC2 or like a Buick Regal or Buick no, not Buick Regal, like a Buick sedan.
Okay.
They were like just this old, like no offense everybody, an old lady car.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, an old lady car.
Come on.
And I should have taken that one because I was like the old lady car. Because I'm an old lady. I'm an old person. I'm an old soul. So I was like, probably should have done that one. So, anyways,
you could have done 0 to 60 in that thing in let's see, 8.2 seconds.
Dang. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
On News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Just past
There we go.
7:30. Good morning.
Here
It's
we
Thursday. Here we go.
Here we go.
We've been having a lot of fun talking about cars on our live stream. If you have a chance to check that out, feel free to join us on our Facebook, YouTube, or X. Dense fog advisory today until 11 a.m. We got rain later this afternoon with a high of 40. Later tonight, some more rain. So that means more snow melting. But it's high of 40 today and a low of 35 tonight. So we got that going for us.
Still a traffic slowdown happening in Benton Harbor at West Main and Riverview Drive. It looks like it may have improved a little bit, but still some law enforcement activity there. So just be aware that if your commute involves going through the West Main and Riverview Drive area, that's the roundabout by North America's headquarters for Whirlpool. There's going to be some traffic issues. So just be aware.
We got a lot of other things to get to. We're actually going to talk about the thing that on a lot of people's minds, especially if you're a Michigan football fan, is
what's going on there?
What do we do now? We'll talk about the coach making his jump to the NFL.
He bolted to the bolts.
Bolted to the bolts. All right. Well, a reunion of sorts because, he went from Michigan to being a player to now being a coach. Now he's doing the same thing with the Chargers.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that here in just a few minutes. Right now, though, let's find out what's happening in the news.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Some of the stories we're following for you today. It happened last night, the governor's State of the State address. Governor Gretchen Whitmer saying it's time to increase the construction of new housing in Michigan and get more people on a path to education in 2024. She delivered her State of the State address last night, covering legislative victories and priorities coming forward. She proposed investing nearly $1.4 billion to build or rehabilitate 10,000 homes in Michigan in the coming year because of the affordable housing crisis. Whitmer also proposed new $1,000 to $2,000 rebates for new vehicle purchases and a new caregiver tax credit for those who care for sick and loved ones. There are a few other proposals in the governor's speech. Not everyone a fan. State Senator Eric Nesbitt is not impressed. He spoke with us after the speech last night and said the governor proposed a lot of new initiatives, but the big question is how to pay for them. He says she and legislative Democrats always seem to have that problem. The Michigan State Police early this morning announcing the unfortunate death of one of their troopers that happened last night. The MSP says Trooper Joel Popp of the Tri-City post near Midland, Michigan, struck by a motorist while he was outside investigating a suspected impaired driver. And 7 people arrested after the Van Buren County Sheriff's Department did a sweep of a motel where recent parolees were staying. The department says narcotics detectives did a compliance check at the KPEP Red Arrow Motel in Paw Paw Township on Tuesday. They ordered everyone out so they could search. It's part of the transition process that they have. They found 3 individuals had meth, 2 individuals had firearm ammunition, and 1 had psychedelic mushrooms. Police say they found some additional violations of the parole terms. 7 arrests made. An additional person was taken into custody on an outstanding warrant. In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Sports coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll also check in with our friends at ABC. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the state.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher, a state.
Yeah, with the Royal Broham, man, that Delta 88, power windows, power locks.
Oh man,
and that wasn't common in the 80s. And everything was velvet, of course. But the thing I liked the most, was that it was bench seats, and I also could fit me and 5 of my friends, and they all had seat belts. Like I think they all had. I think they all had shouldered seat belts, the full ones, and I was like,
maybe
everybody's safe. If I get pulled over, if I got 6 people in the car, they're all seat belted.
Oh boy!
So and it was a good time.
That's great.
It had a minimal amount of rust, but man, that thing had some power.
Yeah.
And going on Michigan roads, like you didn't even realize there were potholes because you would just glide. You would glide right over those things. Yeah, you wouldn't even feel it. You would float in that thing. So, I mean, I doubt I could find one for a decent price in good condition. I'm sure all the ones that I would find would be junk. Maybe wouldn't that be great? You know, because you have all these people that restore like the hot rods, and they restore the the stuff from the 60s and the 70s, but not so much of the cars from the 80s and 90s are you restoring, but they are getting close to being classified as classic too, though.
I've seen a couple of them, and I'll look for them, but like the Monte Carlo, just totally restored. There was a Cadillac, one of the big boat Cadillacs. My granddad used to always have a Cadillac.
Oh yeah,
always had a Cadillac, and upgraded, etc. But one of the older ones, he probably would have had it. They had whoever did this did a full restoration on it, and they did just your typical auto photos of automatic door locks, automatic windows. There's a lighter in the ashtray. I mean, just everything, all the conveniences. Remember the hood or the trunk lid that you put it down to a certain point and it grabs it and just pulls it down the rest of the way. Little robot thing. That's the best thing ever. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, my my car, like it's the hatch in the back. I don't have to touch it.
Oh,
I hit the button.
Yeah.
I hit the button and it opens, and I hit the button and it closes.
That's nice.
I never have to lift it.
Yeah. My granddad would also be the first one to say, more fancy features like that, more things to go wrong.
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, because the cold weather, the hydraulics were making noises. Like it was like, I don't wanna. But anyways, what was what'd you say your first like your legit
the first car I bought? Yeah, my first vehicle was a motorcycle.
Okay.
And my parents did not approve that purchase, but I bought it from the neighbor down the street, and I loved it. It was a great thing. It was a Honda XL 250.
Nice.
And the first thing my dad did was he took the helmet and he said, "This is going to happen to your head," and he dropped it on the cement. I'm like, "Dad, you just scratched my helmet."
Right.
He was so upset. But the first car was a Datsun B310.
Oh,
I don't think they make Datsun cars anymore.
No,
I think it got absorbed into Nissan, but it was a Datsun B310, front wheel drive. The owner before me wanted mag wheels, and so he put mag wheels on the front. They wouldn't fit on the back, so he had stock wheels on the back, mag wheels on the front. It was just the most hideous thing ever, but it got me around everywhere. I love that thing, and it had emergency brake in the middle.
I think they need to bring back the curb scrapers or whatever they call those, the things to protect your car.
Oh yeah,
because it happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
like I'll be to park on the just park on the road. Just park on the road. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to try and get close to the curb as possible, and I always go, poof. Come on. But if I had those little scrapers or whatever, curb feelers.
The curb feelers.
Yeah,
I think those come stock with the Cadillac.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Especially the ones back in the day. Yeah, you protect that thing. But those things were tanks, man. To drive those boats. And now we have cars that park themselves.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think that'll ever take off? Self-driving cars, totally autonomous.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
Who doesn't want to drive? I love driving.
Well, as we talked about earlier, those young generations, those 16-year-olds that are not eager to drive, and they spend so much time on their devices and things like that.
Yeah.
I would say it would be nice to have the option. It's like I watch a lot of the futuristic movies and sci-fi things, and I was watching iRobot, the one with Will Smith.
Yeah, that's fun.
And he's working on stuff, checking out different things, working on a case as he's a police officer, and the car's driving itself. And then he has the option of being able to drive, but not let the robot drive anymore. So I don't know. I think that the technology is there. They're working the kinks out. They're making sure it all works properly. But I don't think it's going to really work properly until all cars are self-driving. Because that's the thing. It's like, okay, well, the human element still being there of you don't know the unpredictability of cars. You don't know what that person in front of you or next to you is going to do.
I wonder, do they have autonomous driving boats? I'm going to look. Because
should.
if they don't, that's where you should start.
Yep.
Start there
Mhm.
because the lanes are very fungible. You just have to know where the stuff under the water is, and you have to avoid the obstacles above water. That would be where you want to start.
Especially those like water trolleys that just take you from one place to the other, doing all that. I think that would make total sense because at all hours of the day, you jump in the boat, it takes you across the channel or whatever you need to do to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then takes you back.
Yeah.
But if you have an issue, the captain, whoever's or anybody that's there can't fix anything. So you may just be stranded in the middle of a lake or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably have them already. I'm looking at something called Metal Shark.
I saw an ad somewhere. We got about a minute.
Okay.
I saw an ad for one of the boat motor companies, like the popular boat motor companies, had an electric boat or electric boat motor.
Oh.
And it was so light. It had like a big battery pack that you could put in there, but it was so light that you could carry it. It like folded up.
Oh.
And you could carry it. And then you just clamp it down to your whatever boat that you have.
Oh.
And go.
Wow.
So I was like,
that's
cool. I would buy that.
Yeah, that is
and
cool.
It wasn't crazy expensive. It was affordable, but it's like, that'd be nice if I had a nice boat or if I had a canoe or something like that and I wanted a little boat motor, that would be neat. Here in just a moment, we're going to talk some football because some big developments happened yesterday after the show with Jim Harbaugh. So we'll tell you more about that here in just a moment. So stand by. Here we go.
We're going to end up around 40 this afternoon. Rain showers develop this afternoon as well. We'll continue the rain overnight tonight. We'll stay in the mid 30s and the rain will move out by tomorrow. We'll see a few scattered showers, but mostly clouds and a high again of 40. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
Hey, it's Fred Upton, and you're listening to The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
Former Congressman Fred Upton. We'll have to talk to him soon.
Oh, yeah, get some updates on
because now that New Hampshire's done, the presidential is really heating up.
Yeah, because he had said if things really heat up and if it looks like it's going to be a rematch of Trump and Biden, they're really gonna speed the process up and I guess kick it into high gear with the no labels movement.
Yeah, and it's increasingly looking like it'll be a matchup of current President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump.
But soon you may see a matchup of brother versus brother.
Oh, no.
This football season, this next football season, you will see John Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens taking on his brother, Jim Harbaugh of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Wow. Were you surprised? Yeah. Were you surprised at how quickly that came out yesterday? Because we talked about it yesterday during this show. During this show yesterday, we said, Jim Harbaugh has a second interview with the Chargers.
Absolutely not surprised.
Yeah.
And as I said yesterday, it was not if he goes to the NFL, but when.
Yep.
Because he had been courting the NFL and wanting to go back and kind of, at first you thought, maybe this is all a ploy to get more money out of the University of Michigan.
And they did. They coughed up.
And even last year when he was kind of talking to some of those, it was because, okay, there's only a year left on his contract. Maybe they speed the process of giving him an offer. They had an offer on the table of, what was it, $12.5 million a year over 10 years, making him the highest paid coach in college football. But the NFL, just too enticing for him. And just like how he went to Michigan, that was his alma mater. He went to Michigan, and now he was the coach for Michigan, built that team up and brought them another national championship. Now he's going back to another team that he used to play for. He used to play when they were in, I'm trying to remember because the Chargers, they move so much. And really, it's all California to me. You know, it's San Francisco, San Diego, LA. It's all within that region. But so he's going to play for the Chargers, who he played for. I think he played a couple years over there. So he's also, I think, he wants a ring.
Yeah,
he's getting the national championship ring, but he got so close.
Yeah, he was in the game.
the team, the San Francisco 49ers, when he was the coach there, he brought them to the NFC Championship multiple times. He got to the Super Bowl, played against his brother and lost, but there was a good chance he could have kept going back.
Yeah.
But he got the offer to go to Michigan. So yeah, not a surprise.
And it wasn't a surprise to the University of Michigan either. I'm pretty sure, because last night after we learned that it looked like it was a done deal, I went to the University of Michigan website. You can look up anybody who's there,
sure,
including people who work there.
Yeah,
and Jim Harbaugh
already taken off.
Well, I looked at the directory, and you've got Jay Harbaugh, assistant football coach, intercollegiate athletics, faculty, staff, athletics, faculty, and staff, blah blah blah. So that led me to believe, okay, well, if Jay's there, that has to mean his dad Jim is there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And indeed, James Joseph Harbaugh is listed, but only as alumni. They took it off that quick. So they knew they were ready.
Because I know that a lot of people were saying that, and I don't know if it's officially happening, but Jesse Minter, who's the defensive coordinator for the University of Michigan, is he on that list? Because he was one that they said, well, if Harbaugh goes to the NFL, he's probably taking Jesse Minter with him. He may take some other staff from the University of Michigan, but they said it's definitely going to be where Jesse Minter is going to go to the NFL with Jim Harbaugh. How do you spell that? Minter.
Let me look.
But yeah, I wasn't surprised to see that happen. What I haven't seen yet, and what we're hearing right now, is that they're agreeing in principle. So they haven't signed on the dotted line just yet. They're probably working out the details of how much money, because I haven't even seen how much money he's being offered. My guess is it's more than what the University of Michigan is offering, just a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, Jesse Minter is still listed as assistant football coach, so he has not inked the deal yet.
The other question that, of course, a lot of people that are Michigan fans are thinking, okay, what now?
Yeah.
Who ends up being the coach? Do you take the guys that are still assistant coaches? And because a lot of the assistant coaches, they coached this season.
They stepped up.
They stepped up and they coached this season. So you wonder, do you just next man up, bring up somebody what's in the staff? So you've got a program that players and school and everything is very familiar with, that has built a successful program? Or do you bring in somebody else, a new head coach from somewhere? So I don't know. I mean, I think the guy that was the offensive coordinator, and then he was the interim head coach for
he's being talked about.
Sharon Moore.
Yeah.
I think he would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what was it? Four games?
He coached. Yeah. He coached the second suspension that Jim Harbaugh had to deal with, because the first suspension that he dealt with, he had a rotating cast of different people. But yeah, then Sharon Moore did the second suspension, and he did a great job. Yeah, he's going off of the playbook and practice and everything that Jim Harbaugh put together, but he seems like a good leader, and he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and he's leading the consideration, at least from the pundits' point of view, of who would replace Jim Harbaugh, and it probably would be a nice emotional transition.
Sure,
right? Because you still have somebody who's been part of the Harbaugh administration.
Right. But then I thought about this. Okay, all these looming suspensions and penalties that could be happening
there.
You mentioned it the other day that, the staff could be involved as well, and they would also get some suspensions. So do you cut your ties and say, all right, well, they can get suspended wherever they end up going, and then maybe the school gets their penalties as well? But yeah, do you cut ties with them and move on, or do you stick with them? So that's the big question. I mean, you could go both ways. I think probably the best idea would be to just build upon what you already have.
I
and
think
not
good
go
for
and
the
get
team.
somebody else, because then it's a whole new thing. I mean, maybe at least for this next season.
Now, does he get what they were offering Harbaugh? The new coach?
Probably not. Hey, you just want to cross his name off and put mine on there. I'll take the 12.5.
Yeah, or whatever it was. I think it was probably even higher than that. He was going to be. There were thoughts that he was going to be the highest paid coach in college football if he accepted the contract to stay at Michigan. But then he went to the Chargers.
And I honestly think he's probably going to get paid more there
Yeah.
but it's a shorter amount of time. It's only probably going to be a 5-year deal as opposed to a 10-year deal.
Yeah, it is that's what I saw in one of the reports, a 5-year deal.
My guess, 5-year, I'm going to guesstimate $14 million.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my guess.
14 million?
Yeah, $14 million over 5 years. Maybe even more. Maybe it's 15.
I'm going to go 20.
20 million?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Not even.
That's what I'm going to do.
15 is my between 13 and 15 million is what he's getting offered for the Chargers. My guess.
I don't know.
35 million. 100. Just throwing out numbers.
We will buy you tickets to the next Powerball.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too with the college coaches like Nick Saban. Not only did he have a big contract at Alabama, but they were buying houses for him. They were buying all kinds of stuff, and you have a lot of things. He could have been the king of Ann Arbor, Jim Harbaugh, but he decided to go.
Yeah.
That's the question, though. Now that Jim Harbaugh's gone, does he get something named after him?
Oh,
because you have Schembechler Hall.
I mean, it's not a bad separation, is it?
No, I think it
left him on the high
kind
note.
of amicable. Yeah.
They weren't surprised. The statement that the athletic director issued said they weren't, they thanked him for everything.
Sure.
It wasn't a surprise, and he approached it appropriately.
All right. Well, we'll see. But yeah, now Jim Harbaugh, if you are Jim Harbaugh fans, you want to get some Chargers jerseys or Chargers hats. I don't know. I don't think I could ever be a Chargers fan.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Sorry I said that. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking there?
Go Lions.
Yeah, we still
Go
have
Bears.
We still have some exciting stuff to happen there.
Yeah, looking forward to that. The NFC and AFC championship happening this weekend. You'll be actually able to hear the AFC championship. We got that here on 94.9 WSJM coming up on Sunday.
And we still have that traffic update to tell you about. If you're in Benton Harbor and you're in the area of West Main and Riverview Drive, you already know this, that there's a traffic backup and some traffic issues there at the roundabout by Whirlpool Corporation's North America campus. So just be aware that police are on the scene. They're doing an investigation at this time. We'll have more information later on. But right now, what we know is there's a traffic mess happening there.
We'll have your Moody on the Market update here in just a couple of minutes. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Are you a business owner worried about the safety of your
What kind of car do you think he's going to get out there? Or is he just going to have chauffeured stuff? What do you think Jim Harbaugh drives? Fancy stuff? He was a football player.
I think he's going to get a Dodge Charger. Do they
really
still make
cool
that?
one?
They stopped making the Dodge
I
Charger.
think they did. Yeah, but you can still get them.
I think he's going to get an electric car.
Oh, because it's California.
And it's the Bolts.
And you got to have charger.
He's probably going to have to change his banking because it's SoFi Stadium.
We'll give you a free bank account, a toaster, and this used Tesla from Hertz.
There you go. No, he'll get probably a lot of things, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm bummed out about it. That he's gone, but I think Michigan, they've got some good pieces, and I think they'll be able to keep it going, keep the momentum. So yeah, but will the Chargers make the playoffs? We'll see, because they weren't a very good team this year. But they've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of in key positions. They've got some talent. They do need to build on that. But that's why Jim Harbaugh probably really excited that he was able to have a really talented quarterback to go coach. And maybe he takes his if it all falls the way it falls in the draft, he may end up picking his former quarterback JJ McCarthy.
Oh yeah,
who's in the draft. So
that's right.
Maybe the Chargers end up using one of those. I would say JJ McCarthy will probably go second, maybe even drop down to the third round. Probably second round.
So the mark he has to beat, I assume this came up in the contract negotiations between the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh. He has to be better than 5-12 next year.
Okay, that's not too bad,
right?
We can make it.
WSJM.
There's only one way to go up there,
right?
Yeah. Looking at now Jim Harbaugh being the coach of the LA Chargers. What record does he have to?
5-12. He has to get better than 5-12. That's what the Chargers had this season.
Woof.
Yeah.
5-12. I think he could do that.
When the Chargers management came up to him and said, "Hey, you want to be our coach?" Sure. What was your record this last year? Oh, we were 5-12. Five what? 5 ties? Five and 12?
5-12. Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Not so good. And he's had a good, when he was in the NFL, he had a great record.
And as you pointed out, that is the AFC West is a tough division. Who's at the top of the AFC West?
Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chiefs. And the Raiders are in there. They're a tough team. Broncos are in there. They've historically been tough. Both the Raiders and the Broncos kind of hurting this season.
Well, and you think about the coaches. There's just the coaches alone. You have Sean Payton, who's a great coach. He's the coach of the Broncos.
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce, he's building a great starting to get people really excited over there. He was the interim coach, and now he's the new coach.
Yeah.
Andy Reid is a great coach as well. So
Yeah.
you got some of the top tier coaches there.
Sports ball.
Basically, think about, you've got if you were to say out of the 32 teams, who are the top 5 coaches?
Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Well, two or three of the top coaches are over in that division.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyways, your Moody on the Market update going on right now. We're tell you about some of the stories at moodyonthemarket.com and on the app as well. And it's brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency, with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
And talking about money, Summit Financial Wellness, a nonprofit committed to providing the skills and resources needed to achieve and maintain financial stability, is putting on a big old conference in February in Niles, Michigan. They want you to know about. It's called Show Me the Money.
Show me the money.
I'm talking about football. This free event scheduled for February 24th. Is that right? My screen's dirty.
February 24th.
February 24th is designed to provide community members with access to essential financial products, resources, workshops, and an enjoyable experience overall.
Now, I've gone to one of these events in the past, and they're fantastic. A lot of great information there. But the Niles Buchanan YMCA is the host site for this year's event with the theme "Be Healthy with Your Money."
Whose money?
Your money.
Okay.
The event highlights include free and low-cost financial products, community resources and information, engaging financial workshops, fun prizes, and giveaways. I love the engaging financial workshops. I think that stuff's important.
Yeah.
Learning about all that, understanding your finances, but also fun and fabulous prizes to go along with it. I'm down with that.
Yeah. Individuals interested in attending the Show Me the Money workshop day are encouraged to register. We've got the link on our website. Again, it's Saturday, February 24th in Niles at the at the Niles Buchanan YMCA, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, check it out. It's at moodyonthemarket.com for all the information.
And your update brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
We're watching over you.
Bum, 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 bum.
Man, oh man, I tell you.
What are we going to talk about now that Jim Harbaugh's gone?
We're going to talk about who's going to be the next one.
Oh.
And then once we find out who that person is, then we're going to learn more about that person. There was actually one, and I think this is one that's just a possibility. I don't think it would actually happen, but former Grand Valley, also coached at Cincinnati and as well as Notre Dame, Brian Kelly, who's the current coach right now at LSU. We're saying maybe he becomes the coach at Michigan.
Oh,
I think he just became the coach at LSU a couple seasons ago. So I think he's going to stay down there. But if the offer's good, and maybe they make him the highest paid college football coach, then maybe he jumps over to there. But I think he'll stay at LSU. But I could be wrong.
God, I'm sorry. I'm looking at an auction right now.
What kind of auction?
Well, it's for a record, a vinyl record.
What vinyl record?
Prince, The Black Album.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the history behind this, the Black Album, but it's essentially an album that Prince released that Warner Brothers did not want released.
Oh, so they didn't make a lot of them.
Well, they made 500,000 of them, and then they after they made them, they tried to buy back and destroy every single copy that they had.
I've never heard that happen before. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a fantastic story behind it. It was 1987, the rare original 1987 U.S. first pressing of the Black Album. Factory sealed in its original shrink wrap. And let's see, it's also known as the Funk Bible.
I'm going to say that is somewhere in the six-figure range.
Only five.
Only five.
Only
figure.
five-figure.
Oh.
It's the bidding started at $8,000.
Okay.
We're just talking about one record here, and it's currently, after 18 bids, at $17,540. Now, that is a sealed album of the first run. I have a first run of this album. It was not sealed when I bought it. It's in mint condition, though.
Oh my!
So I will sell it to you for six figures.
I was gonna say, I was like, you thinking about putting that up for auction?
No,
You're
I
gonna
like
hold on to it.
It's good stuff.
Do you think that's gonna hold in value, like and just go up? Or
That
do you
album?
think this is? Or do you
I
think?
don't know how to judge these things.
Because I almost feel like ride the coattails of this other one and say, oh well, somebody else bought this. I've got it.
Yeah.
For $9,000. It's not sealed, but if that one went for 18 to 20,
yeah. Well,
maybe I get it.
The bidding ends on Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
So hopefully they're marketing that and saying, hey, for a Valentine's Day gift, get this rare album.
There you
go. But then if you get a sealed album, do you ever open it?
No, definitely not.
Why not?
No.
Got to listen to it.
No.
Sports 94.9 WSJM.
When I was a kid, I always thought, in looking back at my childhood,
oh boy,
the toys and things that I had,
that
now as an adult, they're.
Oh, sorry.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I was just doing the way we were.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah. No, I was thinking about the toys and things that I had when I was a kid. If I had the foresight for it, I would buy two of them.
Oh,
play with one, put another one in the.
People do that.
A
lot of folks do that.
But you never know. You never think that, it's 1992 and this is the the thing I got at McDonald's in the drive-thru. I probably should have gone through the drive-thru again and got another thing and then just kept that in a box somewhere.
Yeah, mom and dad would never have done that.
No. But I feel like I would hold on to some of that stuff. But anyways, today we're dealing with dense fog. And that's the advisory actually happening until 11 o'clock this morning. More rain possible with a high of 40. Then later tonight, 70% chance for some more rain with a low down to 35.
Yep.
Got a lot to get to this morning. Still hanging out on our live stream for a few more minutes. If you want to do that, we'd love for you to chime in. We've been talking about a lot of different things this morning, as we always do. We cover a wide array here on the show. It's a variety of different topics: news, sports,
talk,
weather, car talk, movie talk,
rare albums,
all that stuff. So feel free to join us. Let's find out now, though, what's happening in the news.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Here's some of the stories that we're following for you today. Again, another traffic advisory. Just be aware that if you're in the Benton Harbor area, there's going to be a traffic backup. Some people describe it as a mess there at Riverview Drive and West Main Street. That's the roundabout that's right outside Whirlpool Corporation's North America headquarters. They're right across the bridge as soon as you cross the bridge into Benton Harbor there. So be aware that there's an accident that happened. It looks like an accident, and quite an investigation that's going to happen this morning. So right now, some traffic backups in that area. Again, West Main and Riverview Drive, the roundabout there. Police activity. Governor Gretchen Whitmer says it's time to increase the construction of new housing and get more people on the path to education in 2024. She delivered her State of the State address on Wednesday night, covering legislative victories from the past year while looking ahead. Whitmer started with rising costs, saying Michiganders need to know that their biggest expenses will be covered when their paychecks hit their bank accounts. She proposed investing nearly $1.4 billion to build or rehabilitate 10,000 homes in Michigan in the coming year.
Right now, too many families spend more than half their income on their rent or mortgage. Our housing stock is old. Nearly half of all units in Michigan were built before 1970. Young people cite housing affordability as one of their top concerns.
Whitmer also proposed new $1,000 to $2,000 rebates for new vehicle purchases and a new caregiver tax credit for those who are sick or who are caring for sick loved ones. Turning to education, Whitmer called on the legislature to make the first 2 years of community college in Michigan tuition free of charge for every high school graduate.
If you get an associate's degree, you can earn $23,000 more a year. The best paying jobs today and in our future economy require some education after high school. So we must support our kids from pre-K through post-secondary to prosperity.
Whitmer also called for pre-K education for every 4-year-old in Michigan. The governor closed with plans to increase manufacturing. She proposed to the Higher Michigan Fund to lower payroll taxes for small and second stage businesses and a new innovation fund to invest in startups. Now, State Senator Eric Nesbitt from our area is not impressed with the governor's address. Speaking to us after the speech, Nesbitt said the governor's proposed a lot of new initiatives, but the question is how to pay for them.
They spent through a $9 billion surplus last year. There's some lapse money there, and I don't know who she's going to be increasing taxes on to afford all these new programs that they're saying. The media keeps talking about free programs. None of these are free. It's all taxpayer dollars at the end of the day.
Nesbitt says Whitmer painted a picture of our state that's at odds with reality that most Michiganders are facing. He believes the governor is just amassing debt for a future governor and legislature to pay off, while she pursues national aspirations. On the other side of the aisle, State Representative Joey Andrews told us he supports free community college for high school grads.
There are a lot of other states that are showing us that K-14 is the way forward. Tennessee already does this, and I always find it kind of frustrating that Tennessee's ahead of us in anything. So I think that'd be a big step we could take to put Michigan back ahead.
What's he have against Tennessee?
I don't know.
That's kind of, well,
yeah,
that's a dig at Tennessee
yeah,
for no reason.
Man.
Gee whiz. State Representative Andrews says he believes the governor was on point with what many want. He added, as a parent, he's excited about the prospect of pre-K education for 4-year-olds. In WSJM Newsroom, nothing against Tennessee. I'm Ken Lundberg.
I have everything against Tennessee.
Yeah?
No, I like Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's nice.
Memphis
Yeah,
and
Memphis
Nashville.
there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Good stuff.
Except for I think they were dealing with ice storms.
They
were not okay with that.
They usually get our bad weather remnants.
Yeah. Not good. We got weekend plans taken care of by our friends at St. Joe today. We'll talk more about that. Speaking of ice, we'll talk about Ice Fest that's coming up next weekend, and then chili tours this weekend.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So more details on all the weekend
That
events.
chili tour makes me hungry every time I read the story.
Mm-hmm.
That it looks very good. And
a
I
lot
know
of options.
there are some vegetarian options there that I'm going to go check out.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll get to those plans here in just a little bit. Also catch you up with sports. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the nation and the world with ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry.
All right, everybody.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining us today.
Here we go. Out of here.
No, we're staying here.
Oh yeah, we have to stay here, but we're kicking ourselves off of the live stream. But you have a great day. Be safe. That foggy weather, man. That's not so good.
Yeah, it's lifted a little bit, but I still see it.
And the wet conditions, and a lot of the like even those 4-lane highways or 2-lane. You know, you're getting a lot of on the side. A lot of wet spots. A lot of pool. A lot of that snow melt that's happening.
Yeah. This is real nice. Finally got a proof of life update from one of my sons. He's got an internship coming up this summer, and so they flew him out.
Yeah.
Listen to this. The life of a college kid. They flew him out to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
For all expenses paid from New York to San Francisco. And so I said, well, are they harvesting your kidneys? What are they doing out there? Send me proof of life. And he says, and he just texted back busy, but then he finally sent me some nice photos. So
there you go.
It looks like he's in good hands.
That's exciting stuff. Woo. All right. Well, you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you again here tomorrow.